Time to play ball. Roseburg baseball is coming up on the score.
A line drive snagged out of the air at shortstop by Paxton Berg.
Don't miss any of the action this season. Subscribe to 1490 The Score on YouTube to catch every pitch.
And with a double at second, Danner Wirtz helping his own cause, gets Roseburg a run on the board.
Now, let's head to the field for the pregame show. Here's the voice of Roseburg High Sports, Joey Keeran.
Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, as the sun is starting to break through the clouds and we get ready to bring you Roseburg baseball here on The Score. It's time as we wrap up our spring break schedule with a doubleheader. The South Salem Saxons in town for the Twin Bill this afternoon. Roseburg coming off of a tough one again yesterday. A tough competition against the Jesuit Crusaders that goes in favor of Jesuit 11-4. One big inning, the big difference in that one. For South Salem, they come in. They lost in their last game. That was last Thursday. They're 1-1 on the season, looking to get back on track here today. We've got two games coming up for you. Our first doubleheader for Roseburg baseball this season, and it's going to be coming up next here on The Score. Welcome into the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. I'm Joey Keeran. It's great to have you with us for today's broadcast. Roseburg Disposal, you can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. We've got a word with head coach Troy Thompson coming up here during the pregame show. That's our Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. As a reminder, today's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Head to YouTube, search 1490 The Score. You'll find us there. Hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss our next broadcast of Roseburg High Sports here on The Score. We got to get to a quick break, and when we come back, we talk with head coach Troy Thompson on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Social Security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Back with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. It's time now for our Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview as we get a chance to catch up once again with Coach Troy Thompson. It's almost like we're making this a regular deal here. 3 days in a row that Roseburg's out at the ballpark today. Welcome in the South Salem Saxons for our first doubleheader of the season. Before we kind of dive into that topic, yesterday finished things out against Jesuit again. It was another game where things were tight for a bit, and then one kind of frame in that game kind of turns the tide for you guys. How'd you guys kind of come away feeling about yesterday's performance for this team?
Well, you said it. It was a good ball game there through the fifth, and then wheels came off in the fifth, and then kind of righted the ship there, and we're able to get it kind of back to normal for the 6th and 7th, you take away the big inning, and that's a tight ball game. That's a tie ball game, if you take away that one. But you can't do that, obviously. And they did a good job capitalizing that inning on a couple plays we didn't get outs on that we probably could have and should have. And then they finally got the big hit when it mattered, and then followed it up with another one to push those runs across. So, a tough inning for us for sure. But the good news is we played through it and had some guys come in and do a good job to close out the 6th and the 7th inning there, and at least give us a chance to hold them there, and scored a few runs on our own end there late in the game to feel a little better about ourselves offensively. So a lot of positives from yesterday. But yes, the bottom line is we didn't play well enough to win for 7 innings, and that cost us in the end.
It's spring break, so you don't have school. The guys are getting out and getting a chance to play a lot, but it's also getting to play a lot. And maybe that mental side of the game comes into play a little bit. Is there a conversation of, making sure the guys are locked in for a full 7 innings of a ball game, and just making sure that things don't get away from you? It was a game that we kind of saw the defense have a few moments that we hadn't seen them do so far this season.
Well, that's always a challenge, is to make sure you're going to be physically and mentally ready to play a baseball game, whether you're in school or in regular season or league play or obviously spring break play like this. The challenge is to come out and play it hard until the last out is made, whenever that may be, physically and mentally. So as you get a few games in a row, last week Wednesday, Thursday type setting, and then back again quickly this week with Monday, Tuesday, now Wednesday, that's a lot. And we're here a lot, and the kids have put a lot of time in, and sure, it gets draining physically and mentally, but that's also the season. That's why you do it, So they and we need to continue to experience this and put ourselves in these spots to do this, and hopefully when it's time for league and it's a Tuesday single and a Saturday doubleheader, you've kind of done that before, or felt like you've done it before, and it's not a surprise when you get there. So obviously that's the big picture of our spring break schedule, and why and who we schedule, and the time frame we schedule it in. As you're going through it, it's tough, and you hope on the back end of it, come league play and toward middle or end of the year, the benefit from that is we've been there before, and when we hope our kids take some lessons from this week with them, and as a team we move forward from it.
You do have a number of guys that are back this year that have gone through what that Saturday doubleheader is like in league, and we're going to have one of those here coming up in a little more than a week from now. But today, the first doubleheader for the team, so I'm sure that there was part of the talk at either yesterday or somewhat today about how you guys approach a doubleheader and how you guys need to be. What was that conversation with the team like?
Well, the old saying, one game at a time. You can't get too far ahead of yourselves thinking about game 2 before you even start game 1. So we always approach it the same, and we've got to, have a good performance on the mound and defensively and offensively in game 1, and hopefully some of that will carry over to game 2. But knowing you're going to be here for those 2 games certainly plays a part in how you approach, the beginning of the day. You've got to plan for that, and that's something we try to make it, aware for our players to come in knowing that it's a long day. And those are long Saturdays, as you and I know, through the years in our league play. That Saturday game 2 turns into a real tough game, but that's our schedule. So we've got to experience that and put ourselves in those spots, and we're certainly doing that here today with a very good South Salem team coming in.
Yeah, there might be a few gray hairs from those Saturday doubleheaders that have appeared through the years for me, but it is a grind. Saturday doubleheaders are, and this spring break schedule has been one, as we mentioned, 3 days straight for you guys, and you could have a dugout filled with future Major League Baseball draft picks in there, and you're still going to be wondering about pitching and where you're at. Playing 4 games in 3 days, it's going to stretch any bullpen. How are you guys kind of shaping up as you guys go into today's doubleheader?
Well, the good news is yesterday we got a good, some quality innings from our starter yesterday, and Christian Corba, who got us into the 5th inning there. And then we had some guys come in, and their pitch counts are such that they're all available here again today. So that obviously helps to be able to roll some arms back here today should we need them, or when we need them here today. And then you go into game 2 on a day like today, and you look around, and you hope you have enough arms, quality arms left to give us some innings, give us some outs, and that's kind of how we planned it. But as you know, sometimes plans go awry in the course of a game, and we'll just kind of take it as it's come. We'll plan for all of it, and hopefully have a move to make when the situation arises. And The nice thing about this group is a lot of our guys have been on the mound before, can throw and give us outs and work hard for some innings for us. So they'll have an experience or opportunity here today to probably do some of that with some arms that may or may not have been on the mound yet in our first, 4 games here. So it's nice to have the option of knowing you have, guys you can put out there that can throw quality innings for you. And we'll probably see some of that here today. They'll get that opportunity.
All right, Coach, we look forward to it. Thanks so much for the time here in the pregame.
Thanks, Joey.
That is Coach Troy Thompson and our pregame coaches interview. Teams are taking the field. We're just a couple of minutes ahead of schedule. We're going to go ahead and hold off on our final break of the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We will make that up later on in the broadcast, and we'll continue on here. Let's take a look at your Southern Septic Service starting lineups for today's matchup. Southern Septic Service, from residential to commercial, they've got your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service, woman and veteran owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. First for the visiting South Salem Saxons, led by Coach Max Price. It is Jimmy Ordaz Jr. that'll lead things off, starting at second base. Sawyer Nelson at shortstop, hitting second. Tegan Scott at the catcher position will hit third. Ben Greer in center field bats fourth. Hitting fifth and the DH today, Kellen Bowman, followed by third baseman Drake Fredenberg. Hitting seventh is first baseman Ryder Johnston. In left field is Logan Scott batting eighth, and rounding out the starting 9 will be Jackson Burt, the right fielder. The DH utilized for starting pitcher Harrison Buckingham. That is a look at the starting lineup for the Saxons. Let's look at the defense for Roseburg here in the top of the first inning. Behind the plate, Amos Bowers catching. Out at first base is Danner Wirtz. At second base, Mason Young. On the left side of the diamond, it's A.J. Black at third and Paxton Burke at short. In the outfield from left to right, you've got Nick Ruiz, Christian Corba, and Rylan Glasser. They will look to support the starting pitcher today for the Roseburg Indians, and that is the lefty, Fletcher Coleman, who will deal the first pitch of the ball game. It's low, bounces by. There's ball 1, and we are underway here in today's game right at the top of the hour. So we end up going right about on time there. Fletcher Coleman, a 1-0 count, facing off against Ordaz Jr. He'll take a strike for a 1-1 count. South Salem coming in ranked number 1 in the state in the preseason coaches poll. And they're looking to follow up what was an undefeated regular season last year. It's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball that disappears on Ordaz Jr. Went undefeated in the regular season, made it to the quarterfinals, and then got upset by Grant, the team that was the Cinderella. Got hot in the postseason last year, ran all the way to the state championship game. Ground ball back up the middle, snagged. And a toss over to first by Fletcher Coleman. Nice play up the middle by the pitcher. Helping his own cause in that situation. Fletcher Coleman right back at him. The comebacker fielded, and he makes the play to first for the first out.
Sawyer Nelson.
We'll get a look at that replay here in a moment. One away, nobody on. And up to bat will be Sawyer Nelson, a lefty. Takes the first pitch, ball 1. Takes a breaking ball for strike 1. So 1 out. Jimmy Ordaz Jr., the second baseman, grounding out to the mound. Now you got Sawyer Nelson, the shortstop. Takes another strike from Fletcher. And Nelson is behind 1-2. Fletcher Coleman coming into the matchup, his second start of the season. Went 4 innings in his first start of the year. Had a 1.75 ERA. The 1-2 pitch bounces. 2-2. The junior in that one start, mentioned 4 innings. He did not pick up a win. He allowed just 1 hit, 2 runs. It was only 1 earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. The walks, the number that they were concerned coming away from that one. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Nelson will go down look, and that's 2 away. Here was that comebacker to Fletcher Coleman for the first out as he got the sharp glove on that one. Was able to make the play quickly for those that are watching online with us at 541radio.com. It was a nice play there to get things started. Now a strikeout looking to Sawyer Nelson, and here comes the guy that is going to draw a lot of eyeballs. He takes high for ball one. It is Tegan Scott, the catcher. He is rated one of the top players in the Pacific Northwest. Tegan Scott committed to Oregon State as he'll take a pitch, 2-0. Oh, excuse me, 1-1. There's the count. Scott catching for the Saxons, getting some clarification on the strike zone. He takes another strike, and he's got a 1-2 count. Okay, maybe it's now 2-1. He held up 1-1 before that last pitch. There's a pitch that's a little elevated. 3-1 is our count. So 3 balls and a strike. Fletcher Coleman's delivery, ground ball left side. It is cut off by the third baseman, A.J. Black, and he airmails it to first. Hanging on at first base will be Tegan Scott. He'll get on safely. Well, that one was close. Definitely the throw was not going to get him. He was quick down the line. Man, he's not a small guy, but, man, he is quick down the line for Tegan Scott. And I think he was going to beat out that throw. I'm going to give him a hit.
Center fielder number 15,
and it'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Ben Greer. Base knock for Tegan Scott. It was a high bounding ball through the left side of the infield. Takes some time, a long run to get to it for A.J. Black, and his throw to first. It had to be perfect, and it had to have some zip on it to try and get Tegan Scott, and he sent it to first base too high for Danner Wirtz. Ben Greer will step in. Takes the first pitch for a strike from the lefty Fletcher Coleman. Curveball misses high and away. Tegan Scott, he's definitely going to be the big name on this roster. It's a roster filled with a lot of big names. But Tegan Scott, probably one of the biggest, and might have a few guys here that are looking at his professional abilities and watching for the future. As a ball fouled back for strike 2. 1 on, 2 away. Top of the first, scoreless ball game. Game 1 of a twin bill here today at Champion Car Wash Field. Ball is, swung on and missed. Goes to the backstop. Everybody will be safe. I was assuming a foul ball, but it was missed behind the plate by Amos Bowers, and that allows Greer to get on. That should have been the third out of the inning, and it is the second strikeout for Fletcher Coleman, but a pass ball will put the runner at first. Tegan Scott was running, so he was getting to second base anyways. So now you got 2 runners on, and the inning will continue with 2 outs. That's unfortunate for the Indians. First pitch to the lefty, Kellen Bowman, the DH, takes high for ball 1. He'll take a strike, a 1-1 count. Sun starts to poke through. We are expecting maybe the possibility of some rain throughout the afternoon here in Roseburg. Hoping for not much, and maybe a slight drizzle if it does start to happen. The 1-1 pitch flared in the air into the parking lot for strike 2. We're looking at 55 degrees with sun shining down on Champion Car Wash Field here at the moment. Everything's artificial turf, so if we do get a little bit of precipitation, the worst that really happens is that the playing surface starts to get a little slick out there, but the field will stay playable. 1-2. Misses low for Coleman. And Kellen Bowman at the plate, a 2-2 count. Kellen Bowman, a junior, earned all-league honors as a quarterback for this South Salem athletic department. As he swings through, it's another drop ball, but the tag is applied, and that will get the Indians through the top of the first. It remains scoreless as a third strikeout in the first inning for Fletcher Coleman. And he gets Roseburg through that first. No runs, 1 hit. There was no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM. Our Southern Septic Service starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians, led by Coach Troy Thompson in his 24th season. It'll be Paxton Burke, the shortstop, to lead things off, followed by Nick Ruiz, the left fielder, batting third and pitching today for the Indians. Fletcher Coleman at first base. It's Danner Wirtz batting cleanup. Christian Corba, the center fielder, will bat fifth. The third baseman, A.J. Black, is batting sixth. Amos Bowers, the catcher, will bat seventh. Hitting eighth is Mason Young, the second baseman. And rounding out the starting nine, right fielder Ryland Glasser. That's a look at the starting lineup for Roseburg. Defensively for South Salem, you've got Tegan Scott behind the plate. Ryder Johnston at first. Jimmy Ordaz Jr. at second. On the left side of the diamond, it's Drake Fredenberg at third. Sawyer Nelson at short. And in the outfield from left to right, Logan Scott, Ben Greer, and Jackson Burt. They will support their starting pitcher. On the mound for South Salem is Harrison Buckingham. Buckingham, a right-hander, a junior. First pitch, high and away, ball one to Paxton Burke, the switch hitter. Buckingham, a junior, earned honorable mention All-State as a pitcher last year. This ball fouled away. Paxton Burke dropping the bat as that one was swung on. Stands back in for the 1-1 delivery. Another ball fought off down the left field side. Out of play for strike two. Buckingham, 84 strikeouts last year. He was one of the leaders in the state in that category. He's got a 1-2 count. He misses outside, and the count goes 2-2. His fastball hitting the low 90s. He's got a low 80s on his changeup. Low 80s on his changeup. That's pretty crazy for a high school pitcher. 2-2 pitch. Chop it, left side. It'll be the third baseman. Double clutch, throw to first, not going to be in time. Fredenberg came in, cut it off in front of Sawyer Nelson. Hesitated on the throw to first, and Burke, who is quick out of the box and batting left-handed, he's got that advantage as he faces the right-handed batter. He'll beat out an infield single, and Roseburg will have their first hit of the ball game. Man on at first with nobody out. So that'll bring up Nick Ruiz, who has moved up in the lineup here to the 2 spot today. He'll bat with one on and nobody out. Squares to bunt. He puts it down. It goes back towards the mound, fielded by Buckingham, and he will make the out at first. A sac bunt for Nick Ruiz. Does the job he's asked to do. That ball right back to the mound. Got there kind of quickly, but Buckingham doesn't try to do anything too much as he gets the out at first. They get the first out, and now Burke at second base with one out. He is in scoring position. It'll be Fletcher Coleman, the pitcher, batting third and looking to try and help his own cause. The right-hander Buckingham. First pitch, flared down the left field line on the run. Diving attempt, can't quite get there in foul territory for Logan Scott. the twin of Tegan Scott, who's back behind the plate. That ball, a foul ball, right near the line. Logan Scott doing a good job of getting there. I'm sure with the big arm in Buckingham on the mound, they expect that there's going to be a few balls going opposite field, and with a lefty at the plate, Scott ready out there. 0-1 pitch from Buckingham. Running, the bunt popped up. This could be two. Scott will make the catch behind the plate. His throw to second high, but time to get back to the bag. And Roseburg tries to put a little action on the bases, and it comes back to hurt him. They pop up on the bunt attempt by Fletcher Coleman, caught by Tegan Scott behind the plate. He throws out to second base, and that will double off Paxton Burke. Burke had a good jump, might have had a chance to get to third if the ball had not been put in play, but it'll be a scoreless first inning. No runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base for Roseburg. Scoreless as we go to the top of the second here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Top of the second inning, it'll be Fredenberg, Johnston, and Scott due up for South Salem
First batter for the
against
top of the
Fletcher
second inning
Coleman.
for South Salem, it's number 11, Drake Fredenberg.
The first pitch for Coleman is a swing and a miss by Fredenberg. Coleman actually strikes out 3 in the first inning. A drop third strike, helping things continue for South Salem in that first. The 0-1 pitch, Fredenberg will take outside, 1-1. Today's game brought to you by McClendon Smokehouse, a family-owned meat shop and smokehouse offering a wide selection, plus fresh produce, baked goods, and a general grocery selection. Stop by on West Harvard Avenue. 1-1 is up above the eyeballs there for Fredenberg. As the sun has really come out here, it's nice to see the clouds breaking. There were some dark ones hanging overhead early before the game got underway. 2-1, foul tipped into the glove for strike 2. In fact, yesterday it started to drizzle just as I went down to go do my interview with Coach Thompson before the game got started. And today ended up with a little bit of the same. 2-2. Check swing to defend the plate. Fredenberg stays alive with a foul ball. But unlike yesterday, the clouds have broken a bit, at least for the time being, and we've got sunshine. Yesterday it was drizzly throughout much of the game against Jesuit. Ooh, just missing on a pitch high and away. Count goes full for Fredenberg. Busy schedule this week for Roseburg. Kind of feels like it's Summer Legion baseball or even higher level than that. As a 3-2 pitch, outside, ball 4. Let him off the hook. Playing 4 games in 3 days, that's not typical for the high school schedule, and so a busy one here for the Tribe and for yours truly. Ryder Johnston will step in, another lefty digging in at the plate, third in the lineup for South Salem so far. Johnston, the first baseman, hits with 1 on and nobody out. And the first pitch goes all the way to the backstop, and that'll put the runner in scoring position without having to put the ball in play. Not sure if that pitch missed its location and crossed up Amos Bowers just a bit, but it didn't seem as if he was ready to get the glove in that spot. Coleman's 1-0. That drops in for a strike. At the moment, he's being a bit of effectively wild. Sometimes when a pitcher is unexpectedly missing the strike zone, you kind of have hitters guessing as to what's coming and can work in a pitcher's favor. The 1-1, breaking ball again, this time misses high. 2 balls and a strike. Wearing black tops, the gray trousers for the visiting South Salem Saxons. The 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Big cut. They've got Saxons across the chest in blue. Numbers are black outlined in a thin blue stripe on the front and the back of the jerseys for South. Swing and a miss again, and there's another strikeout for Fletcher Coleman, his 4th in the ballgame already. 1 away. Logan Scott, the 8-hitter, will stand in. Logan Scott starting in left field.
12, Logan Scott.
I was told he's the twin brother of Tegan Scott. They're in the same grade, same last name. I had to ask. I'm pretty sure I had asked at one point previously. Is a breaking ball from the lefty into the righty is called for a strike. An 0-1 count for Fletcher Coleman. Pitch gets by Amos Bowers, and Bowers keeping the ball in front of him right now has been more of a struggle than the Roseburg coaches would like. That puts Fredenberg up to 3rd. And I wouldn't put it all on Amos there behind the plate. We've got a guy that throws a lot of off-speed breaking pitches, can sometimes mix up a catcher back behind the dish, especially if those pitches are not where you expect them to be or they're in the dirt. Strike taken by Logan Scott. He's got a 1-2 count with the 9-hitter Jackson Burt waiting on deck and a runner at 3rd, 1 away. Ground ball right side. Scott will deliver. Logan Scott comes up with an RBI single to right field. And it's 1-0 South Salem in front. Opposite field base hit. Drives in Fredenberg. 1-0 South Salem with just their 2nd hit of the game. They will take the lead. And that's a run resulted strictly by balls getting by to the backstop. Strike 1 on the first pitch to the 9-hitter Burt. Roseburg here at home. Once again, they're back in their white uniforms as a pickoff throw to first. Not in time. Logan Scott diving back into the bag. Roseburg went with the orange tops yesterday after they suffered their first loss of the season. They tried to switch things up as a strike taken on the corner by Burt. They wore the white tops, white trousers for their first 2 games of the season, which they won. After losing one against Jesuit in their 3rd game of the year, they switched to those orange tops yesterday, but back to the white button-ups, Indians across the chest in script orange. Numbers on the back in orange, outlined in black. Black stripe running vertically up the side of the pant legs. As a pitch outside, a 1-2 count. My apologies there for those watching. Switch to the right camera angle. A ball and 2 strikes to the 9-hitter Jackson Burt waiting on deck. Jimmy Ordaz Jr. up and looking to come up for a 2nd time. Strike taken. That is another strikeout for Fletcher Coleman. Down on strikes looking, Jackson Burt. He's the 5th strikeout victim in the ballgame. Top of the order, Jimmy Ordaz Jr. will stand in for a 2nd time with a man at first. It's a 1-0 lead for South Salem. Fletcher Coleman, you look at the numbers, he looks like he's been real sharp here today, but 2 pitches going to the backstop here in this frame after a leadoff walk come back to haunt him. Realistically, without those, he could be looking at maybe runners at 1st and 3rd, maybe 1st and 2nd with 2 down. As a swing and a miss by Ordaz for strike 1. Little things can come up to make a big difference in a ball game. Ordaz Jr., the comebacker to lead off the game, played well by Coleman as he picks off to first. No tag from Wirtz. Today's game also brought to you by First Choice Health Insurance, your trusted team for all your health insurance needs. Throw down to first after a pitch in high. Tag swiping down. Danner Wirtz can't get it there in time. 1-1 count. on Ordaz. They are giving some attention over there to Logan Scott at first base. This South Salem team seemed very aggressive on the bases in their game against Ridgeview, their last contest. A strike hitting the outer half of the plate to the leadoff hitter in the lineup card for Coach Max Price. Ordaz, a junior. Grounds one towards short, picked up by Paxton Burke. His throw crossed over to Wirtz at first, and that will retire the side here in the top of the second. One run comes in on one hit. There were no errors, and one man left on base, and that will finish off the top of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. South Salem leading 1-0 here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
This broadcast of Roseburg Baseball on the Score brought to you by Gibbs RV Superstore. You gotta get to Gibbs. Well, it'll be Danner Wirtz, Christian Corba, and A.J. Black due up here in the second inning for Roseburg. The Indians got the leadoff man on base in the first inning, but a double play on an unfortunate timing ended up wiping that out, and so they only sent 3 hitters to the plate in the first. Danner Wirtz takes high for ball 1. Paxton Burke was looking to steal third on maybe a bunt hit and run, and Fletcher Coleman popped it up. That made it an easy double off at second base for Paxton Burke out there, and that wiped off the inning. Danner Wirtz, a 2-0 count. Taking a couple of pitches high in Buckingham. Harrison Buckingham missing high once again. The count goes to 3-0 for the cleanup hitter for Roseburg. Buckingham, the right-hander, working out of the windup with nobody on. A miss, and there's ball 4. That is a leadoff walk for Danner Wirtz. 1 on, nobody out. And Christian Corba, the freshman, will dig in. Looking to try and help Roseburg. Roseburg's had the leadoff man on base in both innings so far, but unable to do anything in the first. They trail 1-0. Christian Corba, been in the starting lineup since game 1 here in his freshman career. He takes one at the belt for strike 1. Got the start yesterday on the mound. Shaky start, but he settled in, and then by the 5th inning, things started to get away from him. Ooh, look out. That ball goes to the backstop, high and tight. Corba backs out of the way, and Danner Wirtz will easily move up to second base, a 1-1 count. And it seems as if pitcher locations, an issue on both sides so far here today. Harrison Buckingham, errant on that last delivery. Allows Wirtz to move up to second base. So now a man in scoring position with nobody out. Corba will pop one up right side. Wirtz will tag. It's not very deep out there in right. Jackson Burt will make the catch. He'll throw that one all the way to third. It one hops to the bag. Hanging at second base will be Danner Wirtz. So Corba goes opposite field, flies out to right field. One away. A.J. Black will stand in. A.J. Black. Yesterday for A.J., 1 for 2 at an RBI single in the second inning. Looking to do so again. Actually, I put it down as a single with an error. Roseburg counted it as a triple for AJ, so we're going to go with that because I'm sure that's what their stats will say the rest of the season. Check swing. He fouls it back to the backstop for strike one. It was a ball that was hit out to right field, a short hop to the right fielder, and this springy turf, it can be an issue if you haven't played on it much. It can be an issue for guys that have played on it a lot. It took a bit of an extra high hop, and it got by the right fielder, and Black ended up with a triple, and it did score a run. Right now, a base hit could be enough. He takes outside, and AJ's also been pretty good with his eye at the plate. He's been able to lay off some pretty decent pitches, and been impressed with the way he's had some good plate discipline up there. The 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. A.J. Black, the junior, coming into today, hitting 167. Couple of base hits. Goes opposite field. It's caught. They will look to second, but no throw by first baseman Ryder Johnston. Actually, no, he did throw it over there. Got screened out by the few posts that are in the way here at Champion Car Wash Field. But not able to double off Danner Wirtz at second base. He gets back to the bag in time. Unlucky there for A.J. Black. A low line drive to first base right at Johnston at the bag. He's able to make the catch easily and try to double off the runner at second. So now Amos Bowers, he'll take a strike to begin things. Bowers hitting seventh today. The catcher takes strike one. Leadoff walk and a man at second base for much of this inning. Roseburg trying to capitalize. Danner Wirtz out at second base, dancing around. A strike at the knees on the outer half. And Bowers is behind 0-2. Be a great time for Amos Bowers to come through with a big hit. He's got 1 RBI on the season so far. Roseburg trailing 1-0, bottom of the second, game one of a doubleheader. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike three, tag applied, and that will finish off the frame. So Roseburg will leave a man stranded here in the second inning. And on the mound, Harrison Buckingham gets his first strikeout of the day. That will wrap up the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base for the Indians. We head to the top of the third. Still just a one-run game here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Come back for the top of the third inning. Roseburg baseball on the Score, brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Call 541-378-6694. Leading off will be Sawyer Nelson, the shortstop, left-handed batter. Takes a strike. An 0-1 count to begin. Fletcher Coleman got him to strike out his first time up. The 0-1 pitch is low, bounces in and off of the gear for Amos Bowers. The 1-1 bounces in again. So it's a 2-1 count here for the second hitter in the lineup card, Nelson. He takes outside from Fletcher Coleman and is ahead 3 balls and a strike. Sawyer Nelson, one of the big senior names on this roster for the Saxons. He's committed to Loyola Marymount for next year. And he will take ball 4, a pitch that was not off the mark by much. Wind is blowing around out there. That does have our center field camera shaking just a bit out there. For those that are watching online with us at 541radio.com and on
Number 14,
our YouTube channel, 1490 The Score on YouTube. There, it's really starting to go. It's mounted to the fence, and well, it gets caught up in the wind like a big kite. First pitch swinging away for Tegan Scott. It's going to find out in right field. Scott will go racing in for second base, and you've got runners at second and third. First pitch swinging away. Tegan Scott will have his second hit of the game. After the walk to Nelson, Scott will have a double. Goes opposite field to the alley in right center. Sawyer Nelson goes first to third. So 2 for 2 today.
Next batter, number 15, Ben Greer.
Tegan Scott in his last game was 2 for 4, drove in 4 runs total. And the loss against Ridgeview. First pitch, a strike to the cleanup hitter, Ben Greer, who reached on a drop third strike in the first inning. Second time through the order here, so the hitters have now seen Fletcher Coleman once. The infield will play in with nobody out and 2 runners in scoring position. Ball goes by. Coming home to score will be Sawyer Nelson. Up to third base goes Tegan Scott. A pass ball putting a run across. And another runner at third. 2-0, South Salem in front. A 1-1 from Coleman. Misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1. Low again for Fletcher. Count goes to 3-1 against Ben Greer. Coleman's 3-1 pitch fouled off the front foot by Greer as he takes an aggressive approach on the 3-1 count. We'll have a full count against him at third base. Tegan Scott. The infield remains drawn in with nobody out here in the third. Already 1 run in so far. Ben Greer, Jr. for the Saxons club, batting cleanup. He'll go opposite field. That's well struck. Should be able to bring in a run. Rylan Glasser makes the catch. He'll send it in quickly, but it was deep enough that Tegan Scott easily tags and comes around to score. 2 runs in here in the third for South Salem. They lead it 3-0 with 1 out. Now nobody on base. Sac fly for Greer.
Batter number 2, Kellen Bowman.
That is the first RBI. Make that the second RBI of the game for the Saxons. Logan Scott had one earlier. 1-0 count to start for Kellen Bowman, the DH. He struck out swinging in the first. He's got a strike called on the inside corner against him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coleman's 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. It drops underneath the bat, swinging over the top for Bowman. The 1-2 delivery in the air out towards center field. Christian Corba tracking that one. He'll run underneath it for the second out. 2 away. Nobody on base. 2 down. Drake Fredenberg will step in. He walked and scored a run in the second. First pitch misses for ball 1. Another one misses for Coleman. A 2-0 count. Football fouled back. Swing and a miss on the 2-1 pitch, and Fredenberg has a 2-2 count with nobody on and 2 away. Line drive left field goes foul down the line. Past the bullpen where it looks like Brady Popkin might have been out there getting loose, warming up a little bit. Might be a reliever coming into this ball game for the Indians. He pitched yesterday in a minimal amount. Another ball fouled away. That one off the end of the bat. Sounded a little funny, and Fredenberg actually takes a look at the end of the bat. Right off the cap. The 2-2 pitch is high, full count. Full count pitch. Misses low, ball 4. Second walk in the inning for Fletcher. And the third inning will continue for South Salem. Third walk in the game for Coleman. They've been pretty minimal on that, but it's catching up to him a little bit here with 2 in the third inning. 1 on, 2 outs.
5, Ryder Johnston.
Big cut on the first pitch to Ryder Johnston, the first baseman. Another big cut for Johnston. The lefty falls behind 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. This time he gets into one. It's lifted high in the air, though, out to shallow left field. Nick Ruiz comes in to make the catch, and that'll finish things off. And Roseburg will get through this top of the third. A little bit of damage done. 2 runs come in for South Salem. And the Saxons will add to their lead. It's 3-0 going to the bottom of the third. Roseburg trying to get some offense going against Harrison Buckingham. Back after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Number 2, Mason Young.
So Harrison Buckingham has been spotted to a 3-0 lead over Roseburg here in the bottom of the third inning. Game 1 of a doubleheader. First pitch from Buckingham high and inside for ball 1. South Salem, the number 1 team in the preseason ranking in the OSAA coaches poll. Pitch misses low, a 2-0 count. It's Mason Young, Ryland Glasser, and then top of the order, Paxton Burke due up here in the third. 2-0 pitch for Buckingham, a breaking ball. That had some nasty movement to it for the Oregon State commit. And he gets his first strike across. Buckingham only a junior, but he has made that college commitment. If Oregon State came offering me, I would probably commit too. That's a great program to get a chance to go play for. Buckingham misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Mason Young, the 8-hitter. 3-1 pitch. Fastball. He got on it, but he rolls it over to short. Nelson will make the throw across. And that will retire Mason Young. Got one he liked. But a ground ball to the shortstop, Sawyer Nelson. Routine play for him there.
Number 3, Rylan Glasser.
That'll bring up the 9-hitter here, Rylan Glasser, the lefty. Glasser will have his first at-bat of the day. He takes the first pitch for strike 1. Rylan Glasser for Roseburg, making his 3rd appearance in a game. Swings through for strike 2. He's had 4 plate appearances so far, 1 for 4 on the year. And make it 1 for 5 as he takes 3 pitches and goes down looking for strike 3. Second strikeout in the game for Buckingham. And we go back to the top of the order. Paxton Burke has the lone hit in the game for Roseburg. And he will get a chance to bat here. Wind right now is whipping its way in from center field. That is why that camera out there is blowing around a little bit. The first pitch, grounder right side for Paxton Burke. He rolls it to Ordaz Jr., and he makes the play to first base. There is 3 down here in the 3rd inning. Roseburg goes in orders, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we will head to the 4th inning in this one. It is 3-0. Roseburg trailing against South Salem here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
Number 12, Logan Scott.
8-9-1 hitters due up here in the 4th inning for South Salem. Game 1 of a doubleheader. 3-0 Saxons in front. First pitch misses inside, ball 1 as Fletcher Coleman into his 4th inning of work. And it looks as if Brady Popkin and Grayson Coate are headed out to the bullpen to play some catch. Ground ball left side. Logan Scott have a day. He's got a pair of hits in this one. Just like his twin brother Tegan, the Scott brothers with 4 hits total. That is all 4 hits in this ballgame for South Salem. Leadoff man on once again for South. 3rd straight inning, they'll get the leadoff man on. First time they get him on with a base hit. Throw down to first base as the first pitch came in. Ball 1 to Jackson Burt out at first. Logan Scott threatened to try and take second, but didn't actually go. 1-0 delivery for Fletcher Coleman. A.J. Black creeping in at third. Swing and a miss. And the ball gets away from Amos Bowers up to second base. Will go Logan Scott. So, man into scoring position, a 1-1 count to the 9-hitter, Burt, who struck out looking his first time up. Burt now batting with a man in scoring position. Foul tip into the glove for strike 2. Extra 90. It's always a topic in baseball, the extra 90 feet. That's coming up big against Roseburg here today. A 1-2 pitch for Coleman. He delivers, check swing, went around, throw down to first. They'll get him. A throw back over to third. Will not get it there in time. Staying on the bag. Yep, able to stay on the bag was Logan Scott. So he'll move up on the drop third strike. Jackson Burt is out at first. One away. That's the 6th strikeout in this game for Fletcher Coleman. First pitch high, ball 1. One-0 delivery to Jimmy Ordaz Jr. He'll foul one back for strike 2. Or excuse me, strike 1. Just one out, a man at third base. Coleman's pitch popped up. It will get out of play back behind home. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Logan Scott, after his leadoff single to left field, standing at third base. Moved to second on a wild pitch. Took third on the drop third strike. The 1-2 is in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They've got the infield playing in. Again, less than 2 outs. So they're trying to see if they can cut a runner down at home. The 2-2 misses low. And the count will go full. Or not. I thought that was signal 2-2 is the count. Ball fouled away, stays at that 2-2 count. So Fletcher Coleman trying to get through this 4th inning. Not allow any more damage, but he's going to need some work here. Got the heart of the lineup coming up with Nelson waiting on deck, the 2-hitter. And right now, Jimmy Ordaz Jr., the leadoff man's being stingy. A ground ball, looking the runner back to third. Throw over to first base for Paxton Burke. And Roseburg will get the out at first base, 2 away. That's the 3rd ground out in the game for Ordaz Jr. 2 down. Brings up Sawyer Nelson, who's 0 for 1 in the game with a walk. Nelson will bat with 2 out and a man at third. Takes the first pitch for a breaking ball on the outer half. Sawyer Nelson trying to get his bat going. That is a belt out to center field, but it goes right at Christian Corba, who will make the grab in dead center field to finish out a scoreless 4th inning for South Salem. That ball was hit on the screws, but it was hit right at Corba, and he did not need to adjust much. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 1 man left aboard for South Salem. So we head to the bottom of the 4th. It is 3-0. The Saxons in front. Roseburg coming up to bat with their 2-3-4 hitters on 541radio.com and on the Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Harrison Buckingham remains in the game for South Salem. He's protecting a 3-0 lead for the Saxons at the moment. Nick Ruiz, Fletcher Coleman, and Danner Wirtz will step up here in the 4th inning for the Tribe. Today's game brought to you by Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson & Company, member SIPC. Nick Ruiz laid down a sac bunt in his first at-bat. He'll lead things off for the Tribe here in the 4th. He swings through on the first pitch. First chance he's gotten to swing away. Takes a breaking ball high, top end of the corner, and called for strike 2. Ruiz moved up the order here today, and he's going to take 3 pitches for a strikeout. I was going to tell you that Nick Ruiz was batting .375 on the season, but he will take his 3rd strikeout of the season. He goes down looking. 1 out. 3rd strikeout in the game for Buckingham. Fires outside to the lefty, Fletcher Coleman. Buckingham in the season opener, a 20-0 win for South Salem against the Ida B. Wells Guardians. He had 8 strikeouts in that one as a ball popped up foul, and it will land on the roof of the first base dugout for strike 1. The season opener, Buckingham went 4 innings and had 8 strikeouts in that one. It's just got 3 strikeouts so far through 3 1/3 inning. He's got a 1-1 count against Fletcher Coleman. Pitch high and away. Wells losing 20-0 against South Salem in their season opener there. They turned around, they came down here, and they put a challenge against Roseburg, but the Indians walked off with the victory in that one. As Fletcher Coleman will foul off a pitch. It goes off the catcher and then into the backstop. A 2-2 count for Fletcher. Roseburg had led that game against Wells pretty comfortably, but then the Guardians stormed their way back and forced Roseburg to have to bat in the bottom of the 7th, and they walked off with the win on a fielder's choice by Mason Young that got him the victory, scored the game-winning run. 3-2 count, a pitch missing high and away to Fletcher Coleman. The 3-2 pitch, ball 4, he draws a walk. Fletcher Coleman, a walk machine to start out this season, especially in the first couple of games.
Next batter, number 20,
but on the year for Fletcher, that's now 6 walks for him here in his 5th game of the season. 1 on, 1 out. It'll be Danner Wirtz who drew a walk in the 2nd inning on 4 straight pitches. He takes low and outside for ball 1. Interesting correlation between a lot of the teams that Roseburg has played this year. The ball foul tipped into the glove. And this one really stung last year for the South Salem team. They were undefeated and got upset by Grant in the playoffs in the quarterfinals. A 12-0 loss, a run rule victory. That was a surprising victory for Grant against the team that was undefeated. And that Grant beat Roseburg in the 2nd round of the playoffs to advance to that quarterfinal game against South Salem and beat South Salem. And then Jesuit actually also lost to Grant as well, if I'm not mistaken. 2-1 pitch is in for a strike to Danner. Yeah, they lost to Grant. Jesuit lost to Grant in the semifinals. So 2 back-to-back opponents for Roseburg, and then Roseburg themselves all losing to Grant in the playoffs. A 2-2 pitch called strike 3. Wirtz goes down looking. 4 punch-outs now for Harrison Buckingham. And there's 2 away with Fletcher Coleman still at first base. So kind of interesting correlation between all the teams that we've seen so far. That Grant Generals team last year ran through the playoffs, and Jesuit, Roseburg, and South Salem were all a part of that buzzsaw. Breaking ball outside to Christian Corba. The freshman will take one over the plate now for strike one. A 1-1 count. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball that drops away. Bottom fell out of that one. Corba down to his last strike here with 2 outs and a runner on. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second base will not matter as the final out is made. Strikes out the side does Harrison Buckingham as he gets Christian Corba to swing and miss. And that will finish things off here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on after a 1-out walk to Fletcher Coleman. And it remains a 3-0 score as we head to the top of the 5th inning. This is Roseburg Baseball here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Through 4 innings in game 1 of our doubleheader, it is 3-0 South Salem. 1 run in the second, 2 runs in the third. South Salem with 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. They've left 5 men on base. For Roseburg, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they've left a pair of runners stranded on base. It'll be Tegan Scott, Ben Greer, and Kellen Bowman due up to bat against Fletcher Coleman, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, coming up to bat for a 3rd time as we make our way to the 5th inning. First pitch to Tegan Scott is taken for a strike. Well, Tegan Scott, first-team All-State catcher last year as a junior, had 7 home runs. He is committed to Oregon State as he will foul off a pitch for strike 2. Was told earlier today he has signed with the Corvallis Knights to play this summer in the West Coast League. The 0-2 pitch outside from Coleman. He's got a 2-for-2 day going so far, has scored a run. Tegan Scott and Logan Scott right now have all 4 hits in this game for the Saxons. Ground ball towards short. Paxton Burke has it. He'll have a moment to throw over to first base and will get Tegan Scott for the first out in the 5th. That'll be the first time they get a Scott in this one. 1 away, Ben Greer will bat. He is 0 for 1 in the game. Reached on a drop third strike in the first, had a sac fly in the 3rd.
Ben Greer.
Greer fouls away the first pitch. Today's game brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Sun shining down on us here in Roseburg as a pitch high, a 1-1 count. Blustery day, but it's been dry and the sun has been shining, helping things out a bit. It's a cooler day. I think we might hit the upper 50s for our high temp this afternoon. 1-1 pitch. Fouled away over towards the Newell family hitting facility here at Champion Car Wash Field. Home for a number of baseball teams here during the spring season. Roseburg, Umpqua Community College, and Umpqua Valley Christian all play their home games here. It's a pitch low, 2-2 count. The Community College will be here at home coming up on Saturday. They've got a doubleheader against Southwestern Oregon starting at noon Saturday afternoon. Ground ball, high bounding ball towards short. On the short hop, Burke with time. Throw to first. In time. Bang, bang play at first. And Paxton Burke able to just get it there in the nick of time to make that out at the bag He had to set himself up. Yeah, just got it there in time to retire Greer. First pitch swinging away, ball fouled third base side into the bullpen. A.J. Black will not have a chance to get to that one. That'll be strike one against Kellen Bowman. Now that play all around for Paxton Burke was pretty sharp. Paxton committed to go play at LC State with Coach Jeremiah Robbins and the Warriors. So breaking ball in for a strike. 0-2 count to Bowman, who's 0 for 2 in the game. Fletcher Coleman's 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and a 1-2-3 top half of the fifth inning against the heart of the order for Fletcher Coleman and the Roseburg Indians. They keep it a 3-0 deficit as Bowman strikes out for a second time in the contest. 7 punch-outs in this one for Fletcher Coleman. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We get through the top of the fifth inning and head to the bottom half of the fifth here at Champion Car Wash Field. We're going to keep it right here for this commercial break. Roseburg will have A.J. Black, Amos Bowers, and Mason Young due up in the bottom of the fifth. Well, we've got a break in the action. Remind you that coming up tomorrow, we have got the start of the Sweet 16 round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, and we are beginning our coverage of the Sweet 16 starting at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So we encourage you to tune in for the NCAA men's basketball tournament. We'll have coverage from the Sweet 16 all the way to the NCAA championship game on April 4th. We'll also have coverage of the NCAA women's basketball national championship game on April 5th. Let me double check. I think it might be April 3rd on that one. But we'll have coverage of the women's national championship game. The national championship game for the men is the 6th, and the women's national championship game is the 5th. So we'll have those coming up on the radio for you. You can always check out the live sports broadcast schedule online at 541radio.com and on the 541 radio app to stay up to date on what we've got coming up for you in the way of live sports on the radio. And coming up tonight, it's Blazers basketball here on the Score. We'll have coverage of the Blazers coming up for you, starting with pregame at 6 o'clock tonight as they welcome in the Milwaukee Bucks. Harrison Buckingham will rifle in a first pitch strike to A.J. Black on the inside corner. Buckingham out for his 5th inning of work. He struck out the side in the 4th. Black will show a bunt, takes for ball 1. 1-1 count. Today's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. The 1-1 hits the corner for a called strike, according to home plate umpire Jason McGuire back there. Austin Stone out at third, and Dan Bachmeyer over at first, our crew today. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball outside, 2-2 count. A.J. Black last time up, went opposite field, stung one, but it goes right at Ryder Johnston at first. He was able to make the grab for the out. Breaking ball inside corner, down looking, strike 3. Strikeout number 6 on the day for Buckingham. He's starting to find a groove as he makes his second time through the order against Roseburg. Only had 2 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. He's got 4 from the 4th inning here into the 5th. So he is starting to sharpen up out there on the mound. Buckingham delivers outside for ball 1 to Amos Bowers. The 1-0 pitch to Bowers, low again, 2-0 count. Amos, strikeout victim back in the second, trying to get on base. Roseburg looking for a base runner. That ball opposite field will get out to the right fielder Jackson Burt, and he will track it down. Looked like it caught him off guard just a bit. Took a step the wrong direction, had to recover, but it hung up long enough for him to run underneath it for the second out. 2 away. Mason Young will bat.
Batter number 2, Mason Young.
Mason Young grounded out to short his first time up. Got a pitch he liked, squared it up, but rolled it over to shortstop Sawyer Nelson for the first out of the 3rd inning. Low and outside, ball 1 to start. Well, if you're local here in Douglas County, you're tuning in, maybe on the radio, maybe watching online, and you want to catch some baseball this evening, it's the start of the Umpqua Valley Christian Baseball Tournament for spring break coming up tonight. Outside, a 2-0 count for Mason Young. We've got a pair of games, including local teams. You've got the Oakland Oakers playing in the first game of the day, and then the host team, the Umpqua Valley Christian, will play in the nightcap coming up at 7 o'clock as they visit out to the mound for Tegan Scott to talk with Harrison Buckingham for a moment. So you've got Oakland and Myrtle Point at 4:30, and then Umpqua Valley Christian and Clatskanie in the game at 7. Hit the top of the hour here, 1 o'clock hour. It's game 1 of a doubleheader between Roseburg and South Salem. We'll get a chance at a legal ID in a moment. The 2-0 pitch outside, a 3-0 count for Mason Young. Mason trying to get on base. Roseburg had a hit in the first. Since then, they've had 2 base runners, both of them walks. A 3-0 pitch from Buckingham. It's in for a strike. Wasn't going to let Mason Young off the hook that easily. (3-1) count. Buckingham delivers, ball 4. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on The Score.
Batters number 3, Rylan Glasser.
3-0 score. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. South Salem in front of Roseburg, but it's been a tight game. And just a couple of free extra 90 feet that have been the difference in this one, helping South Salem push across the run. A low pitch, ball 1 against Rylan Glasser. And a balk called. First of those this year that we've seen. That'll put Mason Young into scoring position. Haven't had a balk yet this year. That was the first. It's not a rarity, but it's the first that we've seen it this year. So still 1-0 count to Rylan Glasser, who will stand in and take strike 1. Took it on the first one. He had a strike on that balk call. Didn't count, though, and he takes it again. 1-1 for Glasser. Check swing. Back pick down to second base. Got him. Mason Young ruled out at second base on the throw down by Tegan Scott. And so the call at the plate not going to come back to matter for Rylan Glasser. He'll be at the plate to lead things off in the 6th. Throw down to second base. Sawyer Nelson there. Oof, that was a close one at second. The ruling is out, and we head to the top of the 6th. It is 3-0. South Salem in front of Roseburg here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Top of the 6th inning, and Roseburg will make a pitching change here in the 6th. They will bring in another lefty to take over on the bump. That is going to be Rylan Glasser, the right fielder, will move to the mound, and I would imagine that means that Fletcher Coleman has moved out to right field. Yeah, Fletcher will head out to right field defensively. Glasser will take over on the mound, and it'll be a lefty up there Rylan Glasser will face off against Drake Fredenberg. First pitch swinging away, and it's going to find the new right fielder. That is Fletcher Coleman, who typically starts in right field, so nothing new for him out there. He'll make the catch, one away on the first pitch for the new man on the bump, Rylan Glasser. They'll bring up Ryder Johnston, who's 0 for 2 in the ball game.
Make batter number 5, Ryder Johnston.
Rylan Glasser, a sophomore lefty. Gets the ball fouled away. It is a lefty-lefty matchup here against Johnston. Glasser will work out of his windup with nobody on. Delivers in, and the ball is fouled off for strike 2. Rylan Glasser making his second appearance on the mound. His first time he walked 2 batters, did not record an out, so didn't get any credits for an inning. So he has his first official 1/3 of an inning this season for the Indians. He misses just off the outside corner. A 1-2 count as some clouds starting to roll in front of the sun, cooling things off and blocking out the rays of the sunshine coming down that have made it an enjoyable afternoon here at the ballpark. Another ball fouled away by Johnston. Stays with a 1-2 count. This is just game 1 of a doubleheader here. We'll have a second broadcast that will get started on our YouTube channel and online for those that are watching. A 1-2 pitch, grounder up the middle, ranging, getting there. The throw to first by Burke. The shortstop makes the play, and there is 2 down. Nice job covering ground for Paxton Burke to retire Johnston. 2 down, and Logan Scott will get a chance to bat. He is 2 for 2 in the game.
Number 12, Logan Scott.
Continues to be that Logan Scott and Tegan Scott have the only hits in this game for South Salem. Another lefty on the mound for Roseburg, facing Logan Scott, right-handed batter. He takes strike 1, timing up the first pitch he sees. Glasser's 0-1 pitch, misses low. We'll see how things go for Roseburg the rest of the day. They've gone to the bullpen, and Fletcher Coleman did a nice job giving them 5 innings here today in that start. It's going to be by committee the rest of the way, presumably. The 1-1 lifted towards right field. Coming in, Fletcher is there. Coleman makes the grab, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Rylan Glasser. Nice for the sophomore after a tough start to his pitching career at the varsity level. He's able to come out here and get things going the right direction in his first inning of work here today against a very good South Salem lineup. Go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still a 3-0 lead for the Saxons on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
First batter for Roseburg, number 3, Rylan Glasser.
Rylan Glasser will lead things off here in the 6th inning for the Tribe after a 1-2-3 inning on the mound for him after he comes in to pitch. He will bat. The lefty will take high and away. He was at the plate when Mason Young was picked off out at second base on a bang-bang play out there. Glasser will get a fresh start here against Harrison Buckingham, who remains in the game for South Salem. The 1-0 pitch is called for a strike. Buckingham into his 6th inning of work, eating up some innings here for South Salem. Showing a bunt, put it down third base side. The throw to first base. Pulling the first baseman Johnston towards foul territory, but he keeps his foot on the bag, makes a great play to get to that baseball and record the out on the throw by Fredenberg. One away, top of the order, Paxton Burke coming up. That was a pretty good play. Had to make quite the adjustment into foul territory to get to that one. But Johnston's a tall guy, lengthy guy out there. He is able to make that one for the first out. Paxton Burke 1 for 2 in the game. An infield single his first time up. He takes ball 1. Buckingham, a 1-0 pitch to the switch hitting shortstop. Inside, he spins out of the way. Takes for a 2-0 count. Today's game brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. The 2-0 high for Burke, 3-0 count. Well, if you like Mountain Mike's, we've got an opportunity for you to win a Mountain Mike's gift certificate and a little extra spending cash in your pocket. It's our bracket challenge. It's pitch high, ball 4. That'll be the 4th walk for Harrison Buckingham. There's been one issue with his game so far. It has been the free passes. He has walked 1 in every inning except for the 3rd and the 1st, and he gave up a single in the 1st.
Number 13, Nick Ruiz.
So I guess he didn't walk. Oh, no, he did walk somebody in the 5th, but they had the pickoff that made it still a 1-2-3 inning. First pitch, a strike to Nick Ruiz. An 0-1 count to start. So the score bracket challenge presented by Clint Newell Auto Group. It's going on right now. If you got in at the start, you've got a chance to win the grand prize of $300 as a pickoff throw high to first. But if your bracket is already busted, you can get in on the round of 16 bracket. It's a fewer games to have to pick, so you've got a good chance of getting some things right, and you could win $50 in cash and a $50 Mountain Mike's gift card. Throw down to second base as Burke will steal second. The ball gets away into right field. Burke late to recognize it. He'll get up and head for third. He'll go diving in, and he is into third base. So Roseburg, with 1 out, will have a man at third. A 1-1 count at the plate for Ruiz. Stolen base for Paxton Burke. He leads the team in that category. Burke came in with 8 stolen bases here today. Make it 9 now. So he is all the way to third as that ball got away. I think it hit off of maybe his heel or hit off of him and ricocheted into the outfield. So I don't know if you would rule that an error in there. I don't think you would. It's a pitch high, 2 balls and a strike. Just, I guess, maybe another stolen base. 2 balls and a strike to Ruiz, who could get Roseburg on the board and break the shutout against Harrison Buckingham. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. The 2-2 from Buckingham, swung on and missed for strike 3. Tegan Scott will look the runner back to third and rifles one down to first for the out. 2 away. Strikeout number 7 on the day for Buckingham.
Batter number 9, Fletcher
There's
Coleman.
2 away. Fletcher Coleman will bat with 2 outs and a man at third. Roseburg trying to get something on the board against South Salem. He hits a line drive shot. It'll get over the top of the outreached arm of Sawyer Nelson at short, and that'll drive in the first run of the game for Roseburg. Fletcher Coleman comes through. RBI shot up the middle. A base knock that will bring in Paxton Burke and make it 3-1 for the Tribe. There we go. It's back down to a 2-run game. Second hit in the contest for the Indians. A strike taken by Danner Wirtz. Coleman on for a second time. He walked in the 4th inning. picks up the RBI. Danner can't hold up, chasing some high cheddar. And he's got himself an 0-2 count. Danner's been on base once with a walk. He also struck out looking in the fourth. Takes outside. Some activity going in the bullpen for South Salem. Roseburg's also got some activity in their bullpen as well. 1-2 pitch outside to Danner. It looks like Paxton Burke is throwing down there. He is. The shortstop might get another relief appearance. He's come in and been able to minimize some situations for Roseburg on the mound as the ball fought off by Danner. Got a great crowd here today. We're starting to see some of the teams that are here for the UVC tournament starting to show up early, with games getting started at 4:30 this afternoon. 2-2 pitch outside, and the count goes full for Danner. Now 4:30 is the scheduled start time. We'll see. That's a pretty quick turnaround. They're going to jam them all in here today. Baseball all day long. Full count pitch. Strike 3 called inside corner. Wirtz thought he might have ball 4, and instead he goes down looking. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning, final frame here in Game 1 of our doubleheader, but Roseburg does get one on the board as Fletcher Coleman comes through with an RBI single to score Paxton Burke. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 7th inning coming up here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Rylan Glasser will stay on the bump for the Indians. He pitches in a bunt attempt for Jackson Burt, but he misses and takes strike 1. 7th inning here at Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg as the sun does make its way back out. 0-1 pitch called strike 2 as Glasser attacking the zone against the 9-hitter. 3-1 score. South Salem in front by a pair against Roseburg. The 0-2 pitch bounces off the turf for a 1-2 count. Today's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel. Make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. A 1-2 pitch from Coleman. Just misses high and away. 2-2. Not sure if I fully got all my thoughts about the bracket challenge. We're down to the round of 16, so if you want to fill out a new bracket, you can. Go to 541radio.com, enter in a new bracket for the round of 16, and you got a chance to win one of our secondary prizes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes for a 3rd time in this game, Jackson Burt. That is the first strikeout for Rylan Glasser, the sophomore. And now he'll face the top of the order for this South Salem club. He needs 2 more outs, keep it a 2-run ball game, and Roseburg will see if they can do any damage in the bottom of the 7th. Try to rally back to see if they could steal one against South Salem. First pitch to the leadoff man, Jimmy Ordaz Jr., is a bit outside for ball 1. Roseburg baseball on the Score also brought to you by Roseburg Country Club. Established in 1922, they offer an 18-hole course with excellent year-round playability. You can find out more at roseburgcountryclub.com. They've got their member recruitment period coming up here soon, and an opportunity for folks to maybe save on a membership out there or get an opportunity to check out the club and see what they're all about. So stay tuned. We might have some details for you on that here coming up. 2-0 delivery from Glasser. It's a bit high. Started off with the strikeout, but he has fallen behind here against Ordaz Jr., who is 0 for 3, a pair of groundouts to short. Also has a comebacker to the mound that started out the ball game. 3-0 pitch, in for a strike from Glasser. Well, Fletcher Coleman now in right field, starting pitcher. He went 5 innings, only allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The 3-1 is fouled back by Ordaz Jr. So not a bad outing there. And again, it was just the free 90s, wild pitches, pass balls that allowed runners to move up an extra 90 feet that really did the damage. You could probably write the story that this could just be a tie ball game at 1-1 here in this one, if not for some of those. 3-2 pitch misses outside. And there's a walk. Ordaz Jr. gets on base for the first time today. 1 on, 1 out. Sawyer Nelson is 0 for 2 in the game. Flew out to center field on a ball that he peppered out towards Christian Corba. It just went right at the center fielder, and he was able to easily make the play. Glasser will miss low and inside for ball 1. Nelson also walked back in the third and scored a run on a pass ball. 1-0 delivery from Glasser. Misses a bit upstairs. A pair of pass balls in the second inning after a walk to Drake Fredenberg allowed him to get to third, and he scored on a 1-out single by Logan Scott. 2-0 pitch, in for a strike. Pickoff throw to first, not going to be in time. And then in the third inning, a walk to Sawyer Nelson got him on base, and pass ball allowed him to score, put Tegan Scott at third, and then Scott scored the third run of the game on a sac fly. So things could be a little bit different if we hadn't had those balls getting by at home, whether wild pitches or pass balls. 3-1 count. Now that's just kind of rewriting history. Things happened, and you never know if things didn't happen one way that they did. You never know that they would go exactly a different way. It's a ground ball sharply hit, knocked down by Young, goes to second for 1, and out at second base. Paxton Burke has to hang on to the baseball, but they get the lead runner as Young smothers one. A ball up the middle that Mason Young able to make a nice diving stop on and get the out at second base. The lead runner's down, 2 away. Got it there just in the nick of time, but not enough time to try and turn 2 on it. I'll bring up Tegan Scott, who is 2 for 3 in the game. Grounded out to short his last time up. Takes ball 1. Runner at first is Sawyer Nelson. 1 on, 2 away. The 1-0 pitch. Runner going. Throw down to second base. Oh, gets away from Burke. If he gloves that one, he might have had a chance at making the tag, but in safely goes Nelson. Nelson has stung a couple of balls and has been robbed of getting a base hit. That ball to center field, as they're going to intentionally walk Tegan Scott after Nelson got into scoring position. Nelson stung that one to center that was just right at Christian Corba, and then stings one right back up the middle that was smothered on a diving attempt by Mason Young at second. High and away, ball 1 to Ben Greer, the center fielder. He is 0 for 2 in the game. Did have a sac fly to drive in a run in the third. Rylan Glasser trying to get through this top of the 7th and keep it just a 2-run deficit. His 1-0 pitch. Running is Nelson. Throw to third. Not going to get there in time. He stays on the bag. Stealing behind him, Tegan Scott will get to second. Mentioned an aggressive team on the bases. They've got good team speed. And South Salem, just a ton of stolen bases in the game against Ridgeview in their last contest last Thursday. Now they've got runners at second and third. A 1-1 pitch. A check swing, chopper towards second base. A bounding ball fielded by Young, and he will get Greer at first. And Rylan Glasser has come in, and he's been able to pitch 2 scoreless innings against South Salem. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base for the Saxons. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. It's within reach, 3-1. Roseburg trailing, coming up in their final at-bats here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
South Salem will go to the bullpen. It'll be a save situation for Blake Kansky that'll take over. A senior right-hander will relieve Harrison Buckingham, who goes 6 innings. He allows just 2 hits, 1 run. He walked 4 and finished with 8 strikeouts. So it's his second game that he has 8 strikeouts for the Saxons. But the walks ended up hurting him in the 6th inning. A walk put Paxenberg on. He would steal second. The throw would trickle away just a little bit as I think it hit off of him, and then he would take third. And he would come in to score on a base hit by Fletcher Coleman. And so Roseburg got 1 on the board in the 6th against Buckingham. He exits with a chance to get a win if the bullpen can hang on to the lead. And so Blake Kansky will take over, a senior.
Move to the bottom of the 7th. First batter for Roseburg, number 4.
Today's game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. First pitch inside, ball 1, as Christian Corba will bat. Corba 0 for 2 in the game. Faces the new man on the mound. He takes outside a 2-0 count. Don't have any details on Kansky to pass along to you on his status, the senior. 2-0 pitch is down the middle for a strike. So now Corba has seen one. See if he can do something with a 2-1 count against him. He'll hit one towards center field, but it's not going to force much of an adjustment by Ben Greer out there. It goes pretty much right to the center fielder, and there's one away. Not a bad swing on that pitch by Corba, but he hit it right at a defender, and it makes life easy on him. I'm going to bring up A.J. Black, who is 0 for 2 in the game. He got robbed of a hit back in the 2nd on a sharp line drive that, much like Corba's hit, just went right at a defender as a pitch goes behind the head of the batter to the backstop. Kansky missing the target there. It's a 1-0 count. Roseburg trying to end a 2-game skid and get back above 500 with a win. They're going to have to rally and walk off with a victory to do it. If they did, it would be their 2nd walk-off victory of the season. Kansky misses low for a 2-0 count. Coming up in between games, we will stay on the air on the radio side for the video broadcast. We will start a new one. As a pitch just below the knees, 3-0 count here for Black. So if you're watching online, we have a second broadcast that is created for Game 2 of the doubleheader, so you'll be able to find it on our YouTube channel or at 541radio.com. Outside, 4 straight pitches, missed the zone. That's a walk issued to A.J. Black. He's on base for the first time. That puts 1 runner on and brings the game-tying run up to bat. It'll be Amos Bowers. Bowers is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He'll have an opportunity to make a big impact here in the 7th with 1 out, looking to try and do some damage for the Indians. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Our broadcast also sponsored by Southern Septic Service, woman and veteran-owned and a proud supporter of our local community and youth sports. Breaking ball fouled away by Bowers. He's behind 0-2. So, again, if you're watching online, you can refresh things at 541radio.com. Give us a few minutes. We'll get a second broadcast up and running fairly quickly. It's the 0-2 pitch. Bowers takes as it goes way outside. A race back to the bag at first and in safely will be A.J. Black out there. He got kind of caught in a bad spot out there as that ball had gotten away from the catcher. He had to race back in, but got in just in the nick of time. Pitch fouled away by Bowers. Stays alive with the 1-2 count. So you'll refresh the page at 541radio.com if you're watching there on our YouTube channel. We've created a second one, and you'll have to just go find that second broadcast and be able to watch it there. But we'll have a second stream started for the second game of our doubleheader, which will come up about 20-30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. 1-2 pitch. Bowers chops one high, ball towards third. Took a while, but down with it. Fredenberg gets it across the diamond for the second out. Didn't have a chance to try and turn 2 as that ball chops off the turf high into the sun. And Fredenberg does a nice job, doesn't get distracted by the sunshine, stays with it, and is able to make the throw across to retire Bowers. Mason Young, he's got a walk-off hit already to his credit. Well, it wasn't a hit, it was a fielder's choice. But he does have a walk-off to his credit already this season for Roseburg. He would have to hit one out of the ballpark, and that would just tie us up, so no chance at a walk-off here for him. But he's got a chance to come up in another big spot and try to make an impact on the game for Roseburg. Takes the first pitch inside, a 1-0 count on the mound. Blake Kansky, it is a save situation. He needs one more out. He misses high, a 2-0 count to Young. Waiting on deck is Rylan Glasser, who has come in as a pitcher and a reliever and thrown 2 scoreless, hitless innings against South Salem. A 2-0 delivery from Kansky. Throw down to second base. Is not going to be in time to get A.J. Black. He gets back to the bag. And a strike taken at the plate by Mason Young. 2 balls and a strike. A.J. Black after a 1-out walk out at second base. Mason Young at the plate, the 2-1 pitch. He'll flare one right side. That's going to get down. Coming to get it is Burt. He will throw it in. It's cut off by the first baseman, and Roseburg will get a run on the board here in the 7th. They're within 1 on a 2-out single by Mason Young. A.J. Black comes hurrying around to score. Mason Young comes through with the opposite field single. Jackson Burton, right field, came charging to get to that ball. His throw in, though, cut off by Ryder Johnston down the first base line. If it went through, I don't know if they would have had a chance to get A.J. at the plate as he slides in safely at home. So there's 2 outs and the game-tying run on at first. An RBI single by Mason Young, the 3rd hit in the game for Roseburg. Prompts a meeting out on the mound for the South Salem infield. No coaches out there. It was just all the players gather on the mound to have a conversation. Rylan Glasser, the 9-hitter, he's 0 for 2 in the game and ground out to third his last time up. That was on a bunt attempt, if I'm not mistaken. He'll stand in. Outside, ball one. So Roseburg, kudos to them. They have not relented in this game against the number one team in the preseason rankings. Roseburg has hung around in this one, and they're making life interesting. Glasser waits on the 1-0 pitch. It's outside from Mikansky, and the count goes to 2-0. So Mason Young represents the game-tying run at first, and Rylan Glasser would be the game-winning run at the plate. The 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3-0. Top of the order, Paxton Burke waits on deck. Burke has been on base twice and has scored a run. 3-0 delivery for Glasser. And he takes ball four. Game-winning runs on base for the Indians. Mason Young, the game-tying run into scoring position. Rylan Glasser, the game-winning run at first. Roseburg looking for a big two-out rally. Can Paxton Burke deliver a swing that would tie us up or even more? Kansky on the mound trying to close it out. He's got Burke at the plate. The switch hitter bats lefty. First pitch swinging down the line on left field, but it will hook into foul territory and out of play for strike one. Game-tying run in scoring position for the Indians. Trying to get a comeback victory against the bullpen for South Salem. Burke, an 0-1 count. Takes a pitch inside on the turf, smothering it behind the plate. Tegan Scott, the catcher, all-stater behind the plate. Make sure that ball does not get by. They don't want Mason Young out at second base getting a free 90. The 1-1 from Kansky. Misses low and outside. Two runners on, two out. A 2-ball, 1-strike count for Burke. Roseburg's leadoff hitter up for a fourth time in the ballgame. First time facing Kansky, the reliever. The 2-1. Fouled back for strike two. A 2-2 count with 2 outs and 2 on. Roseburg trailing by 1. 3-2 our score. Roseburg was scoreless through the first 5. They put 1 on the board in the 6th. They've got 1 on the board here in the 7th. They're looking for at least 1 more to tie this up. A 2-2 pitch from Kansky. Left side, that ball has a chance to get down. Diving attempt, it gets by. 1 run will score. Coming around from first is Glasser. He's headed to the plate. Here comes the winning run. And Roseburg's going to walk off with a victory against South Salem to start out the day. Victory for the Indians. A 2-run double down the left field line. Logan Scott laid out for it and couldn't get it. And it rolls all the way to the fence. And scoring from first is Rylan Glasser as Roseburg walks off with a 4-3 victory. And they will hand South Salem a loss. And Roseburg ends a 2-game losing skid. What a finish here. That ball was blasted down the line. And actually, let's give him a triple for Paxton Burke. What a finish here in Game 1. A walk-off victory for a second time this year for the Indians. Oh, my goodness. We've got another one coming up, but the Indians will take Game 1, and what a way to do it against the number 1 preseason ranked team. Roseburg steals one in the 7th. Whew. I got to let my heart rate calm down for a minute there. What a finish to our first game of the day. We got one more still to go, folks. Roseburg will score 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to walk off with the 4-3 victory. And Roseburg will go to 3-2 on the season. And South Salem falls to 1-2. We'll come back after a break here. We'll come back with your post-game show. And we'll recap the action for you there. What an exciting finish to the day. to start out game one of our doubleheader. I'll take a 3-minute timeout. Be back with the postgame show on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking to expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Well, that was something. Game one of our doubleheader, a walk-off victory for the Roseburg Indians. Our final score is 4-3. Taking a look at the recap of game one. South Salem, 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 7 men left on base. For Roseburg, you had 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 4 men left on base. South Salem took a 1-0 lead in the second inning on a one-out single by Logan Scott. That scored Drake Fredenberg, who reached on a walk. South Salem made it 3-0 with 2 runs in the third inning. A leadoff walk to Sawyer Nelson got him on. He would score on a pass ball. He would get into scoring position on a double by Tegan Scott. But then Scott would get to third on the pass ball that scored Nelson, and he would come in to score on a sac fly by Ben Greer. But from that point on, South Salem managed just 1 more hit the rest of the game, and they were held scoreless over the final 4 innings. Fletcher Coleman did a nice job of not letting things snowball on him and was able to keep that game close. And then credit to Ryland Glasser, the sophomore. Ryland Glasser comes in and pitches the final 2 innings. He did give up a couple of walks, but he is able to keep South Salem off the board. He does not allow a hit. He does not allow a run over the final 2 innings. He walks 2 and strikes out 1. His defense helps him out, And Rylan Glasser will earn his first victory of the season as he pitches 2 scoreless innings to finish out the game and keep it a 2-run ball game. For Roseburg, the Indians score 1 in the bottom of the 6th. That was against the starting pitcher, Harrison Buckingham. Buckingham goes 6 innings. He allows the 1 run on 2 hits, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. It was a walk to Paxton Burke that got him on base. He stole second. The throw, I think, hit off of his foot or maybe off of a glove or something. I didn't really see it very cleanly, but it ricocheted into the outfield. Burke didn't even see it all that quickly, but he got up and was able to take third as well. So a pair of stolen bases got him to third base, and he would score on a 2-out single by Fletcher Coleman. So the damage done with 2 outs for Roseburg in Game 1 here. That's kind of different. The last 2 days ago against Jesuit on Monday, it was 2-out hits that did Roseburg in. Here they had the 2-out hits that get them a victory. A 2-out single by Fletcher Coleman in the 6th inning scored Burke to get Roseburg on the board. They would keep it a 2-run deficit. A 1-out walk to A.J. Black got him aboard. And then Mason Young came through with a 2-out single to right field. That scores A.J. Black from second. And he would come in to score. Amos Bowers was able to help move the runner up to second base with an infield ground out to third that was a high chopper that they were only able to get the out at first. Then Mason Young delivers the bloop single to right field that dropped in for a base hit against Blake Kansky, and that drove in A.J. Black to make it a 1-run ball game. With Mason Young on base, he would get to second as Rylan Glasser drew a walk out of the 9 spot. Game-tying run got aboard, and then Paxton Burke, a 2-out triple down the left field line, drives in a pair and gives Roseburg the walk-off victory. Kansky will take the loss 2/3 of an inning. He allows 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. Glasser gets the win after his 2 innings in relief. Fletcher Coleman, 5 innings in the start. He allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, and he had a pretty strong 7 strikeouts in that one. Heck of a ball game here in Game 1. 4 hits in the game, and they come from everybody with the last name Scott. Tegan Scott was 2 for 3 in the game with a single, a double, a run scored, and he had an intentional walk. He did steal a base in there as well. And then Logan Scott was 2 for 3 with an RBI single, and he had another 4th-inning single but was left stranded at third. A couple of walks for Drake Fredenberg. He scores a run, and Sawyer Nelson got on base twice, once on a walk, once on a fielder's choice. Jimmy Ordaz Jr. gets on with a walk in the 7th inning as well. For Roseburg, Paxton Burke goes 2 for 3 in the game with a single and a triple. He also walked and scored a run, drives in 2. Fletcher Coleman was 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a walk. Danner Wirtz was 0 for 2 but walked and got on base. A.J. Black 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Mason Young was 1 for 2 with a walk and then the RBI single plus a run scored. Rylan Glasser was 0 for 2 but walked and scored a run in the 7th. Roseburg gets the victory for the Roseburg Indians. That snaps a 2-game losing skid. They are now 3-2 on the season. For South Salem, they have now lost back-to-back games, and they are 2-1 on, I make that 1-2 on the year. South Salem, a team you might remember, they did not lose a game in the entire regular season last year, so a 2-game losing streak, that's a bit noteworthy for this Saxons team that has been so very good. Roseburg gets a win in Game 1, 4-3. Coming up, we will get some news and note updates for you here in a couple of minutes as we continue on in between games on the radio broadcast. For those that are watching online, we will reset with a new broadcast for the video stream. So, again, if you're on our YouTube channel, go and find the second video game, or not video game, the second video broadcast stream that is set up there. You'll be able to find it there and watch that. If you're on our website, 541radio.com, where we have it embedded, just give us a few. It'll probably be 5 minutes or so before we get the second broadcast up and running, and we'll have that up there for you. You can hit refresh, and it should pop up once we get it live and running. So there you go, folks. Game 1 was a fantastic ball game. Really great on both sides. And for Roseburg, going up against with They're pitching depleted because this is their third game in 3 days. They've got their fourth game in 3 days coming up next. With pitching a bit depleted, Fletcher Coleman does a great job to go deep into the game. Rylan Glasser out of the bullpen, a great performance, and they get the hits when they needed to against a very quality opponent in South Salem. And the Saxons look pretty good throughout this one, playing a clean game as well. So we expect nothing more than another fantastic game coming up for us here from Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg. If you're watching online, we'll bid you adieu for now and have you come back with us here momentarily. And if you're with us on the radio, stay tuned. We've got some news and notes about happenings going on around the Umpqua Basin when we come back. This is Roseburg Baseball. I'm Joey Keeran. It's been a lot of fun to be with you. Before we go, let's go ahead and get this in real quick. Let's pause for a station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on The Score. All righty, we will be back in a couple of minutes on the radio. Be back in a little bit on the video stream, and we'll have Game 2 of our doubleheader for you here on 541radio.com.